We're gonna do some rapid fire questions with Desmond Fambrini today. These are just random questions that I am asked by either my audience, my friends, my family, whoever is tending to be watching me. So let's do some rapid fire questions today. When did you decide to switch from teaching to being a learning specialist? That's a great question. I was a kindergarten teacher straight out of college, 2016. I was 22 years old, and I loved teaching kindergarten. And one of the pieces of advice that I was given as a kindergarten teacher was teach in a bubble. Don't worry about all the craziness that happens around you. Shut your blinds, keep the doors closed, ignore the craziness of the outside school. Now, with that said, I would look outside my window as a kindergarten teacher and see a lot of students in conflict with other teachers. I would see students that were walking around or walking out of class or being sent out of class, and that really bothered me. So I would open the door and check in with these students walking around to see if they were okay. And what I learned is a lot of these students that were being sent out, the bad students, the high flyers, the kids that caused problems, they weren't bad, they weren't evil, they weren't mean, they were misunderstood and they were frustrated because they were having trouble learning. And I had more and more of those students come into my class and help me, and I helped them. And I realized that my special talent was much more in special education as a learning specialist than it was a general education teacher. Great question. Okay, this one. You are a very successful teacher. Can you buy me Robux? That is a great question. When you've reached any type of level of success, whether it be minimal success or really holistically like amazing success, I don't even think I'm there yet, but when you reach any type of success, you start getting requests from people to buy them things. My biggest thing is I like to get advice and support, not direct resources. I always find that to be much more beneficial to my audience, my family, my friends, everyone. Okay, great question. Okay, next one. So next question, why are you wearing dance recital makeup? I am the type of person that believes life is a performance. I don't think you're pretending to be anyone, but I think every day you are showing up as the best version of yourself and hoping that you put on a good show for people, that you make people happy around you, that you make the world a better place. And for that, I do like to dress up, whether it be just for myself or for TikTok and the million people that follow me, or for the one person that I might see in my family. And that's why I like dressing up every day with stage makeup. Ooh, how can I study effectively if I cannot concentrate for a long period of time? So that's a great question. How can I study effectively if I cannot concentrate for a long period of time? I would set timers. So work on your stamina by setting certain timers that are steady timers. For example, let's say your attention span, no shame, is 15 minutes. That's how long you could read before completely losing focus. You set a timer for 15 minutes, you stay focused that entire 15 minutes is up, you take a break. You do that for 2 weeks, then you up it to 20. 2 more weeks, up it to 30. And you keep upping that stamina time of your ability to focus until you reach like an hour at a time. Now human beings, we tend to only be able to focus holistically for like 55 minutes straight without taking a little bit of a 3-minute or 5-minute break. So be careful on that. Okay, next question. How's your boyfriend? He doesn't exist, but if you are him, please let me know. Okay, great question. Is it weird to try to major in writing even though I'm not very good at spelling and I'm not very good at writing paragraphs? One thing that I consistently see is people, and this is going to sound harsh, do not try to prove the world wrong just because, right? If you are really passionate about writing, but you struggle with spelling and you struggle with writing a paragraph, but you're really passionate about writing, it's your favorite thing to do, become a writer. We have spell check, we have editors, we have all of the things that you need to become a successful writer. If you struggle with spelling and you struggle with writing and you struggle with paragraphs and you struggle with sentence structure, but you love to create literary pieces of work, do it. We will have the accommodations and we can teach you the skills. It's possible. However, if you've simply been told your entire life that you are very bad at writing and you want to now prove everyone wrong by majoring in writing, I would say that is not a good reason to get into a career, even though I'm seeing that a lot lately. I'm seeing that a lot. Okay, this is an interesting one. Why, like a politician, did you dismiss my question? So first of all, I'm going to say to somebody who just asked this, I have no idea who you are or what you're talking about. But what I will say is that we are living in an age of entitlement. And I mean that with all the respect in the world. And I mean this in the most kind and compassionate way. Do not overestimate how much you matter to someone. To most, including me to you, I am simply a face on a screen. I'm not actually even a real person to you right now. And you might just be a username on somebody's screen as well, right? So to think that you really matter this much because TikTok has its algorithm custom to you and you have a whole bunch of resources that allow you to do different things now in today's day and age. Remember, you're 1% out of 8 billion. If someone doesn't want to answer your question, they do not have to. If someone doesn't want to talk to you, they could block you. If someone doesn't like your opinion, oh well, right? So don't forget, just because you ask a question to somebody, especially somebody like an influencer, they're not obligated to answer. You are actually not that important. Good question. Is there a favorite subject I like to teach? With that said, I do really like teaching writing. I think not everyone is a natural kind of fluid speaker, and sometimes it's really important to give students the kind of ability to write. to make sure that they have that ability to advocate for themselves, even when it's not spoken word? Great question. That's very good. How did you learn how to speak accurately? A lot of practice. That's how you learn how to do most things well. Why do people not want to hear other people's perspectives? I think that we are in an era where there is a lot of self-education, and self-education is not a bad thing. But the issue is when you kind of educate yourself, especially on an algorithm, you tend to validate your own opinions. We call this confirmation bias in the field of psychology, which means that you may have an opinion. And for example, here's one that's really popular right now. Israel is bad and has always been bad. That's a very common opinion right now on social media. Israel is bad and has always been bad. And you say something like that, and you say that enough, and you type that enough, and you type that into your search bar enough, you start getting a lot of information that validates your preconceived kind of decision. Plus, then you are around people that also think the same thing. And then when you Google it, you also get articles that support this opinion. Now, I'm not saying that Israel hasn't committed multiple actions that are completely egregious and problematic. I'm just saying, think about how you may have decided that before you had the information to back it up, and how the more you decided that opinion, the more information you found to support what you already believe. And that's what we call confirmation bias. So be very, very careful, because that's how you get very solidified opinion with no alternative perspectives. Good questions. I like these questions a lot. Do you speak any other languages? I know ASL, also known as American Sign Language, but I'm not deaf, so I don't teach it on TikTok. Yeah, other questions. That was really good. This was fun. I liked this a lot. Can I debate you? What are your pronouns? My pronouns are he, him. Thank you so much for asking. Okay, ASL is different than BSL, just like how English is different than Spanish. To this person, it's so clear that you support Israel, trying to sugarcoat it. Oh, you can support any country you want. But Sweet Carolina, please remember, there are actual people that need support right now. And are you doing your best to support those people? I want you to look at what you're doing. Like, this is specifically to Sweet Carolina, right? As someone who is on planet Earth right now, are you doing your best, right? Like, that's super important, Addie. So it's really kind of key and crucial that you always think to yourself, am I supporting actually what needs to be supported? Yeah, you're good. Okay. Yeah, no, I don't think anyone really supports genocide. I don't think anyone in their right mind supports genocide. So that's all good, but we're getting kind of down the political kind of holes, and I don't really do politics on social media. Again, I no longer, that's another thing that I've kind of stated lately, is I haven't found the political discourse on social media to be entirely productive anymore. So this doesn't need to be on the YouTube cut. So we'll end that there.